Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Miami. Oh, a beautiful day to be out on the water, but then again, most of them are. An even nicer night to be at the ballpark. Dodgers in town for 3 against the Marlins as this homestand continues here in South Florida. With that, we say hi again, everybody, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth. So a day off to kind of lick the wounds for the Miami Marlins as they are back at it tonight, opening up a 3-game set against the Dodgers team that was this close to a World Series victory last year, but right now they are really scuffling.
Well, I think many of us would run to, World Series hangover, except we're watching the Houston Astros, who have no hangover whatsoever. So you've got the Los Angeles Dodgers. They can't use that excuse, so you start pointing your finger at a lot of other things. The pitching hasn't been as good this year. They've missed some key players. They've lost some series that, boy, oh boy, they're supposed to win. But this is a great opportunity for the Marlins to do what they did to the Dodgers in Los Angeles once again here in Miami.
All right, so of course on this Dodgers team, Cody Bellinger, last year's NL Rookie of the Year. We are a long way from figuring out who wins that award this year, but Brian Anderson, 6 weeks into this season, has certainly made his case.
Yeah, Brian Anderson continues to impress, and the best thing about Brian Anderson, that's right, he didn't come up with all the hype, he didn't come up with all the fanfare. He has been steady and consistent. When we've talked about the walks going all the way back to April, we've talked about the doubles and the big RBIs. Guess what? He's starting to put it all together, and we're really starting to see what this young man can do. He's showed flashes of brilliance in right field. He's been outstanding at third base. I'm telling you, Brian Anderson is going to get an awful lot of action at the end of the season. I'd be surprised if he didn't. There may be somebody out there with a little bit more hype or something, but Brian Anderson is going to have some serious ranks and some, bringing all those big numbers together because he's been up all season long.
Now, sure, people look at the numbers, but he's certainly built up a highlight reel, too. So Wei-Yin Chen, he's had a couple of starts in his career against the Dodgers. He's had 3 starts so far this season. The last 2, not as good as we've seen throughout his career.
Forget everything that's happened this season except one start. It was right here at Marlins Park. It was against the Colorado Rockies, and that's really all you're going to think about tonight, going out and doing exactly what he did that night. Get some key outs, get some fly ball outs, a few strikeouts along the way, but everything else in between. Listen, things aren't stacking up well against him. There's not a whole lot there, but we know that he can pitch well in this ballpark.
A matchup of a couple of lefties tonight. On the other side is Alex Wood. The numbers here at Marlins Park, but on the year still without a victory.
Well, and that's surprising, but I think Alex Wood's an actual example of what's been wrong with the Dodgers. He actually has better numbers this year than last year. And last year he went to the All-Star game and, oh, by the way, won 11 straight to start the year. So Alex Wood's trying to get some things right, including getting his first win. So a couple of teams going at it. One team is supposed to win, the other one trying to find ways to win.
One of the reasons why Alex Wood doesn't have a W yet, run support or lack thereof. Wei-Yin Chen would like to make sure that continues tonight. When we come back, it is a Twitter and email Tuesday. Today's hashtag is baseball feats. We'll discuss with the guys right after this. Series to wrap up the season set against the Dodgers. Before that, let's go downstairs to Jessica Blaylock.
Hey, Paul, today is a pretty historical day in Major League Baseball. May 15th, 1941 marked the beginning of what turned out to be an epic 56-game hit streak for Joe DiMaggio. A 56-game hit streak. That is unbelievable. Well, it got us thinking about great accomplishments throughout the history of Major League Baseball. It also inspired our hashtag for tonight's Email and Twitter Tuesday. We're going with baseball feats. We want to know which achievements in the game are the most impressive in your opinion. As always, you can send emails to foxmarlins@gmail.com. Send those tweets to @foxmarlins, and be sure to use tonight's hashtag baseballfeats. A day off yesterday for the Marlins, but we are back to baseball tonight. Coming up next, it is first pitch between the Dodgers and the Marlins, the first of 3 against LA.
By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By WB Mason, who but WB Mason, the official office supply company of the Miami Marlins. By Chevrolet, see your South Florida dealer today. And by your local Toyota dealer, Toyota. Let's go places. Nice day here in Miami. Roof is closed, however. Rain on the way to the ballpark today. My goodness, torrential downpours. But you know what? Apparently that's Florida. It rains like crazy in one place, blue skies somewhere else. Anyway, this is the Dodgers lineup today. And look who's there in the number 3 spot, Justin Turner. You see the dashes. Tonight will be his season debut. Hit by a pitch on the wrist in spring training, so they have been waiting to get him back. And tonight is that night, and perhaps couldn't come at a better time for the Dodgers, a team that has lost 4 in a row, 7 of 8, 14 of 19. And as we said in the open, this is a team that was in Game 7 of the World Series last year. So whether or not they turn things around in the next 3 days, we'll cross our fingers that the Marlins are able to keep them right where they are, but we are underway.
Well, and it's interesting, is the Los Angeles Dodgers are in a division that they can win. Nobody's taken off. I know that they're 8 games under, but the Arizona Diamondbacks have lost 6 games in a row. So top team in the division slumping.
Inside from Wei-Yin Chen, making his 4th start of the season. The ERA is high thanks to his last couple of starts, where the ERA is up over 16.
Now, as I said in the open, you really want to pay attention to that April 28th start against the Colorado Rockies. He was good. His first game back, I think, we were all surprised that, didn't have a pitch limit, came out, was aggressive, used all his pitches that day, 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 3 Ks. And it was here at Marlins Park. I think it speaks to some of the struggles that Chen has had.
3-0 to Chris Taylor is in there for a called strike. Home plate umpire today is Jerry Lane. Umpire over at first, Greg Gibson. Jansen Visconti is at second, and Vic Carapazza is at third. That is a leadoff walk, so Chris Taylor is aboard to begin the night.
Well, let's give you the Marlins defensively for tonight's ball game, brought to you by Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. Maven's going to get the start in left field tonight. Brinson in center, Ryan Anderson in right field, doing a good job out there. Prado at third, Rojas at short, Castro and Bohr. You see the big man back in there after a big pinch hit home run on Sunday. JT Realmuto having a great season as well behind the plate.
So in steps Kike Hernandez, who was in center field with the injury to Corey Seager. Again, that's been one of the big differences between the Dodgers team that we saw toward the end of April and the Dodgers team now. Corey Seager out for the year, needing Tommy John surgery. So Chris Taylor has slotted over to shortstop most days, and that has opened up Kike Hernandez to go out to center field on some days. Hernandez comes up empty, and it is 0-2.
Now, good to see Chen kind of bringing the arsenal to the table here even in the first inning. That four-seam fastball, he's got a good sinker as well. Slider, curveball, change, uses all 5 pitches. He's going to need them all against the Dodgers tonight. A lot of people around the league look at the Dodgers kind of like as that sleeping beast, you know, like who's going to be the, you know, who's going to wake him up? Dodgers believe it's Turner.
Hernandez flies this one out toward left center field, shallow left center, and it's going to be Cameron Maven to put it away for the first out. Well, that was kind of the buzz around the Dodgers dugout today, was that there was a different vibe on the travel day yesterday from Los Angeles after having been swept by the Cincinnati Reds. Certainly not a position that Dave Roberts is used to. Swept in a 4-game series by the Cincinnati Reds, but they get kind of their heartbeat back in a sense. Justin Turner.
You'd think so. We'll see. Sometimes one player has that type of impact on his team, but for me, that's pretty hard to go to. Now, listen, Turner comes in with some outstanding numbers career-wise against the Marlins. 47 games, 354 batting average. He was their all-star last year. Heck of a ball player. He's on a great run. I think this is as much about who he's replacing or the collective bad numbers that he is replacing as it is Turner coming back. I mean, that's just it. His replacements, batting average 209, 28th in Major League Baseball, on base percentage 291, 27. How about this? Slugging percentage, because we know that that's what Turner's all about, right? The 21 homers, had 30+ doubles last year, 29th.
How about the way that Chen is attacking Turner, right? He left a spring training game after being hit on the wrist. He only had the 2 games of rehab to get back. You like the fact that he's going inside. I don't know if gun shy for a hitter is the right terminology, but just that kind of weariness of getting injured the same way.
Well, I don't think that Chen is fearful of going inside to Turner. He knows he has to pitch to both sides of the plate tonight to be effective, and we're already talking about the impact that the Dodgers believe in. Certainly well publicized. He's a big part of what they do. He cannot just live on one side of the plate. We said already, 16 hits on the season for Chen. 13 have gone for extra bases. I mean, that is just astounding when you sit back and you look at him. I mean, there's not a whole lot to go to when it comes to, you know, Chen's numbers where you say, hey, listen, this is what he's doing well. He can do more of this. Things will turn around for him, other than to go back to his first start, which was here at Marlins Park, and say that was the best thing he's got going.
Don Mattingly said before the game that, you know, Chen's coming back. He still has to find his way. And as you mentioned, that game here, as opposed to the 2 in Cincinnati and Chicago, as Turner sends one out to deep right center field. Brinson, a step or 2 onto the track, puts it away. Taylor, aggressive base running, will tag up and head to second base. A long fly ball out to right center field for the second out of the first inning.
Pretty good contact off the bat. Justin Turner. Taylor, good heads-up base running. He knew Brinson was tracking that ball from the minute it was hit. Took it to the warning track. He also realized that he's got to make a long throw while his momentum is taking him towards the wall. So in all likelihood has really no shot at throwing him out at second base.
Well, that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Matt Kemp, who comes into this at-bat hitting .317. He's cooled off as of late, mired in a 2-for-20 slump entering this at-bat. As Taylor dances away from second base, the first pitch from Chen, off-speed pitch in there for a called strike.
Well, as you mentioned, a little cool of late. Sitting in that 4th spot in the lineup because he's hit .366 versus lefties this year. And the one constant in this lineup as far as production.
In the series between these two teams back at the end of April, Kemp was 3 for 11 with a home run against the Marlins. He has 5 on the season. There's a few Dodgers that have 5. Your team leader in home runs, Yasmani Grandal, has just 6.
Well, it all adds up to 36, which is the 3rd fewest in Major League Baseball. They were a top 10 team last year. So, you know, it's funny because you look through all their offensive numbers and so much of it takes you back to Turner, but can Turner really cure everything? We'll see.
A 1-1 pitch from Chen. Swung on and missed 1 and 2. And I totally get it. This is not the NBA where you insert LeBron James into, a team of me's and automatically you have a winning formula.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different scenario when they're bringing one guy back, but he is the number 3 hitter.
Right. Listen, I've seen players have that type of impact before. I can't dismiss it. And we talk about the burden. Veterans carry a little bit more of the burden. You try to take it off the younger players. Bottom line is this: you look up and down this Dodger lineup. Just about everybody, not all names, but just about everybody can play a little bit better and has at the major league level than what you're seeing from them right now. Like Puig, I think is a classic example. He hit his first home run of the season on Sunday. First home run.
Yeah. It's a shock to us. It was a shock to Dave Roberts, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Tap foul to stay alive. Still 1 and 2.
Chen doing a nice job mixing his pitches. He's got Kemp kind of a passive-aggressive mode at home plate. Just trying to stay on the backside and foul off some of these breaking balls.
Taylor, the runner at second after the walk, moved to second base on a fly ball. Mentioned the 2 for 20 for Matt Kemp on the homestand, recently completed by the Dodgers. 5 for 24, a double, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts in 6 games, and he has a strikeout in this series as well. Chen works around the leadoff walk, gets the strikeout of Matt Kemp to end the top of the first. See the Marlins back when we come back. The bottom of the first inning, Dodgers and Marlins, first of a 3-game set. Paul Severino, Todd Hollandsworth with you on an email Twitter Tuesday. Bit of a different look for the Marlins in this lineup. Martin Prado at the top spot for the first time since July 16th of last year against these very same Dodgers when Rich Hill was on the mound. So he's up top. JT Realmuto in the number 2 hole. We saw Realmuto 3 over the weekend. But now Don Mattingly has said in recent days, obviously you look at the numbers and you know that Realmuto is the best, probably the best offensive player the Marlins have right now, certainly their hottest. And Mattingly wants to get him on at the plate with guys on base. Leading off, not always the case. So now a little bit of pressure on Martin Prado, I suppose, but a guy who certainly has been around the lineup in his career will face Alex Wood to lead off the ballgame.
Now tons of opportunity for Prado to claim it. He's swinging the bat pretty well. So here's Alex Wood's numbers, making his 9th start of the season. You see the 0-3 record, which is really shocking. Alex Wood is a really good pitcher. 45 innings coming in, 37 hits. He's only given up 3 home runs and 8 walks. I mean, he's got a whip of 1, 42 strikeouts. Good stuff. It really has been about run support for Woods, why he has not won a ball game in 2018. Sinker, changeup, and curve. The lefties are going to see the sinker and the changeup and the curve, and the righties will see the exact same thing. He throws his complete arsenal to both sides of the plate. He's kind of that rare bird. Some reverse splits as well. Lefties hitting 306 on the season. Righties just 195, 3 home runs.
Prado 0 for 2 with a couple of walks yesterday, 3 for 14 on the homestand thus far. Did he go? They check. He did not. The count runs full.
Well, the breaking ball to the inside part of the plate, down below the knees. Good job holding up.
And a line drive base hit through the right side for Martin Prado.
Nice job by Prado. Pitch away, drive it away. All right, let's give you the AutoNation scouting report of Alex Wood. Breakout 2017, certainly was 16-3 with a 2.72 ERA. He was a National League All-Star, no doubt about it. Started the season 11-0. So as some people, you look at the record, 0-3. So what's changed? Well, that takes you to key number 2. Knock on wood. Nothing has changed for him personally. In fact, he's been better across the board. OPS down against him. Walks per 9 down. Home runs per 9 down. K rate has been up. Dodgers offense is more than anything to blame.
And now Realmuto with a base hit into left field. So the top 2 in the Marlins order tonight with back-to-back singles against the lefty.
Job well done. An aggressive swing from Realmuto. He gets a changeup. First pitch changeup and center cut. Why not? Looks like a fastball. He's got nothing to play it off of. It's the first pitch he sees. It's kind of an odd selection, odd spot for a changeup. Not sure what he's changing up off of. Now keep this in mind. Key number 3 tonight, second to none. The secondary pitches of Alex Wood, that changeup and curve, he actually throws them more than his sinker. It's pretty surprising. He's kind of one of these new age pitchers. We talk about this all the time. The sinker is only about 42%, the changeup 31%, and the curve 27%. But you put them together, that's more than the sinker, his fastball.
So here is Starlin Castro with a couple of runners aboard, nobody out for the Marlins. And that one in there for a called strike. Castro is 4 for 12, couple of doubles in the series in LA. Couple of home runs on this season, 4 for 17 on the homestand thus far. Don Mattingly didn't get too far into it, but I can imagine as a manager, there's a bit of a conundrum with how do you get the right guys in the right spots in the lineup to completely make your lineup work as optimally as possible. And we keep going back to how good Realmuto has been in the leadoff spot as Castro strikes out.
but there's so many different spots that you could put Real Muto and it would work. So, you know, we joked about the pressure on Prado, but listen, it's the first inning, the first time that these guys are 1-2 this year. Can't make that big a deal out of it. But if you can solidify your 1-2, I mean, we just saw the Atlanta Braves. They had a 1-5 that probably won't change all that much from night to night.
Well, part of that's due to, you know, injury and some different things that have been going on early. But, you know, for example, Brian Anderson's really established himself in either that 4 spot or that 5 spot, at least as far as a run producer is concerned. He's a young man, and again, I don't put nearly as much pressure on him in my mind as you're going to put on some of the veterans around him. But you're right. I mean, here's the deal. You know, Martin Prado would probably get as many looks at the top of this lineup as soon as he starts to swing the bat. Let's not forget, you know, the road trip he just came off of. He was as frustrated as anybody, and he was looking to get home and kind of find that swing again. And so far he has. He's back. That's why you find him in the top spot. There will be consistency for Don Mattingly at some point this season once he knows what he's got and who's back. Remember, JT Realmuto didn't start the season healthy. Right. So you just had a lot of question marks, and what ends up happening when you don't have certainty, you start trying a lot of new things.
Back-to-back singles to begin the night for the Marlins. And that one on a hop to short. One. And unable to dig it out. Bellinger, it gets so far away from him that Prado is going to score. He went to dig it out, and it went about halfway from first to second. And Prado just kept running.
Well, from my eyes, almost like he tried to snatch it. Watch the glove. He tried to whip it. And you do that sometimes. You're anticipating the ball in the dirt as a first baseman. You put your glove down, and then you raise it up anticipating that hop. And as he does, the ball kind of highlights, if you will, like out of the webbing of his glove and gets away. A huge break for the Marlins.
So a 1-0 lead as Justin Bour digs in. Now they'll give an error not because of the fact that Anderson reached. You can't assume a double play. They give the error because Prado got the extra base to come around and score. Nevertheless, it's a 1-0 lead for Miami. Justin Bour did not start the game on Sunday, but he did hit a massive 3-run home run off the bench, his 3rd pinch hit home run.
I tell you, Miguel Rojas' home run earlier this year at Marlins Park was, I think in my mind, probably the most impressive, just because it was Miguel, and I wasn't sure he had it in him, and he did. But what Justin Bour did on Sunday, oh my.
Oof. He comes up empty there. Marlins get a run in the inning. They lead it 1-0 after 1. in a new Lincoln. A 1-0 lead for the Marlins going to the top of the second inning. A leadoff base hit for Martin Prado. He comes around to score. And an early lead for Wei-Yin Chen and Miami as the first pitch to Austin Barnes misses low. A ball and no strikes. It's Barnes, Bellinger, and Forsythe also back. Although not his season debut the way that it is for Turner. On a couple of hops to Castro. And Barnes is retired for out number 1 here in the second inning.
The next all-you-can-eat Saturday is May 26th when the Marlins take on the Washington Nationals. It's going to be starting $30, and you're going to get a game ticket, unlimited Nathan's hot dogs, popcorn, peanuts, nachos, Pepsi soft drinks, or Aquafina water. Now purchase your tickets for all you can eat Saturdays at marlins.com/AYCE.
Here's last year's NL Rookie of the Year, Cody Bellinger. This year has not been as productive as it was last year. He's still second on the team in home runs with 5. He's got 18 RBIs and a .270 average. But there have been a few hiccups along the way, I think might be one way to put it, and that not necessarily surprising. Just about everybody goes through some form of a sophomore slump.
Many Marlins fans will remember Bellinger from last year, July 15th, here in Miami. He's the first Dodger rookie. We talk about this in these parts because we've never seen one in a Marlins uniform.
That's right.
Cycle. That's right. First Dodgers rookie to hit for the cycle. July 15th. Single. Single on his home run came off Urania. A double off Steckreiner and a triple off Whitgreen. And he actually did it the hard way. The triple came last. Got a little, well, I don't want to say a little help. It was just one of those. Stanton sold out in right field, was laid out for the ball, and it got by him. Turned into a triple. Able to do it.
Two for 11 with a double and an RBI in the series against the Marlins in Los Angeles. And a swing and a miss. That is the second strikeout tonight for Wei-Yin Chen. 2 quick outs here in the second.
Now Chen pitching with conviction. Good to see. I mean, these last 2 starts so rough. You wondered if he was going to be aggressive. How aggressive would he be around the strike zone? He has game planned well. Nice job going to the top of the zone. Strikeout against Bellinger. Bellinger struggling against lefties this year.
And now it's Logan Forsythe. Back after a little stint on the disabled list with some right shoulder inflammation. Of course, all that talk about how there has been something of an offensive black hole at third base for the Dodgers in the absence of Justin Turner. Haven't gotten a ton of production from second base either, so maybe he will help the Dodgers get back to where they want to be eventually.
Well, we certainly understand why Forsythe made his way to Miami from his rehab assignment over the weekend. 11 for 28 in his career against Chen with 3 home runs. That's a .393 batting average. That's the most hits, most home runs versus any pitcher for Forsythe.
Forsythe knows it. Chen knows it. And no matter what you're dealing with, I'm sure there's an extra little jolt that day when you look at the schedule and say, I might feel really healthy that day.
In the spirit of my old Dodger manager, Tommy Lasorda, he would say, you send a limo for that guy. I said, what did you mean, Skip? He says, you send a limo for that guy. You make sure that guy gets to the park that day when you've got numbers against him.
Couple of strikeouts already for Wei-Yin Chen. It'll be a 2-2 pitch to Forsythe, who sends this one in the air to right field. Brian Anderson will make the catch. A 1-2-3 second for Chen. 1-0 Marlins.
their defense. A little breakdown there for an early 1-0 lead. Let's go ahead and give you the Dodgers defensively for tonight's ball game, brought to you by Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. Kemp gets the start in left. Kike Hernandez in center field. Puig in right. Watch out for his arm. He's got a good one. Turner, Taylor, Forsythe back in there. Bellinger over at first base. Barnes behind the plate. Alex Wood on the mound.
6, 7, and 8 due up for the Marlins. Cameron Maben, Miguel Rojas, and Lewis Brinson against Alex Wood. He's pitching exclusively from the stretch.
Whatever works. I think for Alex, he certainly is in a good spot right now. Like I said, he's got a lot of things going for him.
Maben lays down the bunt. He's got speed. Wood didn't have the ball to deliver to first, but either way, Maben is aboard.
Well, I'm willing to bet if he picks this up, I don't think he gets Maben. This is an outstanding bunt, and he gets a little help here. It's a changeup. Changeups deaden themselves a little bit. They lack the velocity, so if you even catch it off the barrel a little bit and you kind of catch it with the bat, it's going to come off soft, and look how soft it does. Down, slowing down right there. Wood knows he's got one shot, and he's got to pick it clean. Nice job by Maben.
So back-to-back innings where the Marlins have the leadoff man on. And here is Miguel Rojas, who is in fact back in the lineup today. He was hit by a pitch on the left wrist on Sunday. Ran the bases, left the game, swelling. Some treatment and an off day, and here he is back in the lineup. He was 3 for 13 in the series in Los Angeles, including a 3-run home run off of Clayton Kershaw. Shoots this one down the right field line, but that one will slice into the seats. Rojas has been hot as of late on the homestand. 5 for 13 and multi-hit games in 3 of his last 5. Perhaps that will be one of the topics sent our way on a Twitter Tuesday at Fox Marlins on Twitter and Instagram, foxmarlins@gmail.com. Out to center field. A long run, and then Kike Hernandez wanted to get to the spot quick. Thought he was going to turn on the jets and head all the way to the track. He just wanted to get underneath it so that he could deliver a strong throw back in, keep Maben at first, 1 away.
Maben ran back to first to challenge it. Hernandez recognized it. Did a nice job of actually getting behind that. Good all the way through.
So here's Lewis Brinson, 1 for 9. That one was a double against the Dodgers. One off the edge. Brinson had a career best 5-game hit streak, snapped with an 0-fer on Sunday against the Atlanta Braves. A lot of questions were asked before the game about Lewis Brinson and why is he getting so many looks. Don Mattingly just kept talking about his attitude, his willingness to work, and the fact that you look up at the scoreboard, you see the batting average is at 172, and you'd think maybe his head be down. It's not. He's kept things extremely positive. This one a little flare into right center field. It's going to fall. And Maben is on his way to third. The throw is off the mark, and Brinson is into second base.
Well, sometimes bad turns into good. Now things got a little crazy. Maben off with the pitch. Here's the deal. Ball's in the air. You got to keep going. You don't worry about it. Brinson catches it off the end. So Maben's off with the pitch, and you see the contact. Well, there's no getting back. You're done either way, so you might as well keep running. So for Maben to really stop at second base didn't make a whole lot of sense. But by going to third, he forces a throw. Hernandez's throw way offline. You can see Wood, he's kind of frustrated with that because now that allows Brinson to move up. Great base running by Brinson, paying attention right there. He saw the high throw and made his way into second base, so good job.
They are going to appeal. The second base umpire Jason Visconti says issues the safe signal. I'm assuming that was for Maben, whether or not he turned back around. Questionable, but the appeal is now gone. Swing and a miss for Chen. That was like kind of in that little gray area, wasn't it? Didn't really turn back, but he kind of
some fancy footwork at second base. You had to pay attention to which direction his feet were going. Cameron Maben, an outstanding athlete.
So second and third for Chen. And a piece, 0-2. He's had 4 at-bats this season. Clean base hit in Cincinnati as the Dodgers play the infield in, already down 1-0. Chop to Turner at third, and the throw to first.
Wow.
And that is about as weird as a double play as you might ever see. Take another look when we get back, but the Dodgers are out of the inning. Where they had 2 runners on and 1 out. Wei-Yin Chen with the chopper down the third baseline. Vic Carapazza, the third base umpire, looks for a moment as though he's saying foul ball, but then from a different angle you could see him afterwards say that Maben was out. So Maben's trying to get back to the bag. Turner meets ball and Maben at the same time and then throws across the diamond, double play.
Clearly I'm missing something here. I mean, I know exactly what I'm seeing, but is that not a foul call?
That's what it would look like to me.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else that could possibly mean. I'm hung up on that. I mean, I certainly understand the out call. I'm not arguing what he gets to it after, you know, doing Carl Yastrzemski over there at third base. I mean, goodness, seriously, 3 times. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Well, I just don't know what that means.
And there's a ball in front of the base, which is usually the home plate umpire's
His left arm should be going that way.
Or it should be the home plate umpire's call. Now, is it no longer the home plate umpire's call because there's potential for a play at the plate?
I think it's because he took the call.
All right, you say so. Here's what I do know.
It's his call till it's not, is kind of what I'm saying.
I guess.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Yasiel Puig, Alex Wood, and Chris Taylor due up. 8-9-1 for the Dodgers, trailing 1-0. Off there by Wei-Yin Chen, and it's 0-2.
Yasiel Puig finds himself in the 8th spot in the lineup. You see the batting average, 204, as I mentioned in our open this evening. First home run came on Sunday. Marlins Park has not been overly kind to him over 15 games throughout his career. 186 batting average, but he does have 4 home runs.
Guy who calls Miami home. Straightened up there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Talk about the lack of run support both for Alex Wood and the Dodgers on the whole. I think there's some people that would tell you expecting more from this man.
Well, he has already missed a little bit of time this year. Left hip contusion. Been back off the disabled list May 8th from that, but you're right. I mean, when he's going right, he's not hitting 204. When he's going right, he's not an 8-hole hitter. Right now, that's kind of where the Dodgers are at right now. Things are not going the right way in their minds. That one misses outside. 8 leadoff walk for the 2nd time in 3 innings. Let's go downstairs to Craig Minervini.
Thank you, Paul. May is Education Month, and the Marlins continuing their think tank presentations with players, managers going around area schools. They went to 3 schools today, including Griffin Elementary in Cooper City, Sweetwater Elementary, and here at Laurel Park in Miami. Lewis Brinson, Don Mattingly, a chance to chat with the 4th and 5th graders. They basically use a mathematics-based program and incorporate baseball. They have a presentation. It's pretty cool. And then there's a little Q&A. They get to use all the stats we love to use about baseball and create something that's a lot of fun. You see Bohr wait for that ball.
Don't be too slow. Here comes a throw across the diamond, and Puig is in there safely. Well, Puig in his career has been a run till someone tags you kind of base runner, and that's about exactly what that was right there.
Well, a lot of it's instinctual. Just Bohr lets the ball go and then decides he's going to pick it up at the last second. It's going to stay fair. In the meantime, Puig hustling all the way. Manager Dave Roberts, I'm sure, thrilled with this. Great read, great instincts on Puig's part. He's hustling all the way. Look, he's not thinking about just getting to second base. It's a foot race to 3rd. Good heads-up baseball.
So the tying run is 90 feet away. Top of the order here is Chris Taylor.
Say this. This is why you find him in the lineup. Players, when they generally start to slump, try to find other ways to contribute. Whether it's on the bases, whether it's with their glove, they know that they're struggling. Puig knows he's not living up to his career numbers right now. That's some heads-up baseball right there.
Blocked by Real Muto. 2-0. Well, I guess that's all part of it, whether your team is going well or not. Usually it's the not part, but trying to create something out of nothing. And that was a little dribbler down the line, bunt, whatever. And Justin Bohr tried to let it roll foul. Puig, as I said, usually doesn't stop until somebody tags him. Now here he is at 3rd, less than 2 outs. And that one misses low to Taylor, who walked back in the 1st inning.
Well, first 2 times through the lineup, we saw examples of great base running from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Taylor tags up on a deep fly ball to center field, gets his way into second base. Didn't turn into anything, but it's just the general mindset. We've talked about this Dodger team. 8 games under. It's their worst start since they moved to Los Angeles.
Big swing on 3-0, now 3-1.
16-24. Worst record through 40 games since 1958. 5-14 over the last 19 games. Dodgers got to do some things to try to play better baseball.
Popped up. Foul territory. Bohr has room, makes the catch. Puig thinks about it, but will head back in a big 2nd out.
Nice job by Chen. Back in. Falling behind 3-0.
Now Kike Hernandez, who flew out back in the 1st inning. And to that point, again, on paper, the Dodgers look like a playoff team. But at 16-24, keep this in mind, only 2 teams that have started 16-24 or worse have won a pennant. 1914 Boston Braves to 2005 Houston Astros. So a lot of work to be done for the Dodgers, but as Holly mentioned before, the Diamondbacks have lost 6 straight games, certainly during a time in which they could bury the Dodgers and others.
Now, the one thing that does stand out, talking about the Dodgers, in making an argument for them, is the run differential. They're only at, well, obviously with the 1 run here, -2. I mean, everybody else in the division, other than the Arizona Diamondbacks, has got a worse run differential than them. They're actually in 2nd place, yet you see where they are in the standings. It's kind of a weird year for the Dodgers right now. Get some guys healthy, got to get some guys back, and see what they can do.
Well, what Chen would like to do is strand the runner at 3rd. Protect this 1-0 lead. Marlins scored in the bottom of the 1st inning. Into the camera well, 2-2.
Generally speaking, Chen continues to make pretty good pitches in hitters' counts. Watch these Dodgers at times kind of almost like trying to take it upon themselves, maybe do a little bit too much. I think Taylor's a classic example of that, his last at bat.
Wig away from 30, led off the inning with a walk. 2 on the night for Chen, who misses upstairs. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on the way. And Fernandez fouls that one away. Nice catch from the seats. Draws an applause. A long look in for Chen. And once again, the payoff pitch is in there for a called strike 3. Hernandez goes down looking to end the 3rd. A big strikeout for Chen to protect the 1-0 edge. For the Marlins. Hey Marlins fans, now you can stream games live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. Download the app and take Fox Sports Florida and Marlins baseball wherever you go. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, Craig Minervini, Jessica Blaylock. The whole band is here tonight on a Twitter Email Tuesday as Martin Prado leads off the inning. It's the top 3rd of the order for the Marlins. Prado, Real Muto, and Castro. Single and a run scored in the 1st inning for tonight's leadoff hitter, who spins away from that offering from Alex Wood. 1-1. A traditional leadoff hitter, Martin Prado is not. Traditional in the sense of the 80s and beyond, you know, prior to that, right? The guy who's going to get on base and steal a bunch of bases. It's also not the prototypical leadoff hitter in today's game, where it's that power threat. But he will see a lot of pitches, as he did in that first inning. This one grounded to Turner at third, and there is one away. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jessica Blaylock.
Hey, Paul, like you mentioned, it is a Twitter and email Tuesday here at Marlins Park. Tonight, our theme is great baseball feats. We've also got a Twitter poll for all of you fans out there. We've taken a couple of great accomplishments throughout the history of the game. We want to know which one you think is most impressive. Is it Hank Aaron's 25 All-Star Game appearances, Nolan Ryan's 7 no-hitters, Ty Cobb's 366 career average, or Cy Young's 511 wins? Go to @FoxMarlins on Twitter to cast your vote. We will have the results in our Marlins Live postgame show. Guys.
Jessica, thank you so much. I think I've got one out of that list. I don't think I should reveal it yet, though. Maybe later? What do you think?
Reveal it later.
Reveal it later. Okay, great. Got it. Yeah. Keep them guessing. Keep them wanting
Suspense.
more. Absolutely.
Well, JT Realmuto base hit his first time up on the first pitch he saw. Now 7 for 10 on the season. My goodness, JT has been locked in. 7 hits, the first pitch of an at-bat this season. Wow.
He's also fared well against the Dodgers this year. 5 for 14 in LA, the 1 for 1 tonight, and 3 of those 5 were home runs. 3 of his 5 home runs this year.
Well, now has a career hit, what, now 20 straight against the Dodgers? Yeah, that's right. 28 for 71, creeping up on 400.
Swing and a miss there, and 2 outs here in the third.
Well, after an eventful first inning, Wood has really settled in. He's got the breaking ball down in the dirt. JT swings over the top. Here's a pretty good look at it. As I told you, righties and lefties the same. Get the same arsenal. Sequencing can be a little bit different. He will throw the changeup to both sides of the plate, but when the curveball is working, he's throwing it.
Here is Starlin Castro. Swings at the first pitch, sends this one in the air right field. This is Puig for the third out. 3 up and 3 down for Wood on just 9 pitches in the third. As we head to the top of the 4th inning here on a Tuesday night, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Miami Marlins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Miami Marlins. Turner, Kemp, and Barnes due up for the Dodgers. Down a run here in the top of the 4th inning against Wei-Yin Chen, who has 7 swings and misses tonight. He had 3 swings and misses against the Cubs. 1 on the curve, 2 on the 4-seam last time out. This time, 4 on the 4-seamer, 2 on the curve, 1 on the change. So missing bats, something that clearly he was not doing in Chicago his last time out when he gave up a trio of home runs.
Well, he's made pitches when he's had to. I think it's so interesting that he's, picking up the swing and misses ball. I mean, just get this. He's fallen behind 8 of 11 batters. So he's had to make some pitches in some tough spots, and he has. He's answered.
Ahead in the count to Justin Turner. He doesn't chase a ball in the dirt. 1-2. Yeah, after the game against the Cubs, he said he couldn't control himself, that he was going to learn from it. He wasn't sure if it was mechanical control or emotional control, as Anderson will play this one on a hop in right field. A hit for Turner to lead off the 4th.
This is a classic example of what Turner has done over the last couple of seasons. We talk about batting average and on-base percentage. When you can take a pitch that's 6 inches off the outside corner and do this, watch JT Realmuto's glove. He's going to the backhand. That's over the white line in the left-handed batter's box. It just dumps it in right field. That's how you hit 300 in the big leagues, Paul.
Like it's nothing. Some see that as a ball. Justin Turner sees that as a leadoff hit. Here's Matt Kemp. And Kemp skies this one out to Anderson in right field. Shows off the arm. And Turner heads right back to first. How long does it take to get around the league that Brian Anderson has a terrific arm?
Oh no, it's words out. Words out already. And there's no doubt Dodgers came in. I just think that you're seeing the Dodgers trying to be creative on the bases. They know they've been struggling offensively. Only scored 9 runs in the Red Series. Brian Anderson does take nothing for granted. A good conversation with him in Chicago. As an outfielder, as a right fielder, I played some in my day. Assume nothing. Don't assume that the ball, the base runner's not going to go. Always assume that he is, and if you do, you'll never get caught off guard. Nice job right there. Strong throw.
Here is Austin Barnes. Well, I guess I asked that question because of that highlight reel throw that Anderson had the other night against the Atlanta Braves to get the runner at third. An absolute strike. I mean, I don't know if it's in the Vlad Guerrero Ichiro category just yet, but I'll tell you what, to me it wasn't that far off. Look at the play by Prado. Tries to get to his feet but can't in time, and it's an infield single for Austin Barnes.
Save an extra base hit, right?
Exactly.
Well, nice job, good read. To Hopper down the line. Top spin. It's by Prado's glove. The Dodgers would really be in business once again. Nice job keeping it on the infield. Barnes runs well. That's a tough play for Prado. Bounce up and throw.
It's a 2 on and 1 out for Cody Bellinger. Struck out back in the 2nd inning. Chen has 3 of them to go along with a couple of walks in this ball game. That is a big swing and a miss from Bellinger.
Doesn't get cheated, does he?
No, sir. That one may have been just below the zone, but it was brought to my attention today that he has the 2nd lowest contact percentage on pitches in the zone. So perhaps that's why there have been some struggles. Apparently he's been getting a lot of pitches in the zone and just not connecting.
Yeah, I'm with you. That sounds about right. That's a pretty good number right there. What'd you say? 2nd lowest contact rate inside the strike zone, right?
Yeah.
It's where listen, it doesn't work. Got to have more of it. That leads to strikeouts. Productive. One thing I do know is this: he's hitting just a tick above 200 against lefties this year. He's had a struggle against the southpaws.
1 for 12 against lefties. There's a strike on the outside corner. The count even up 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, getting back to the four-seamer, Chen going to it as well, making a great pitch in a hitter's count. Nicely done. He went upstairs first at bat, above the strike zone to get a big strike out of Bellinger.
This time he goes low, and Bellinger flies this one out to center field. It's Brinson. He gets behind that one, but no advance. 2 on, 2 out for the Dodgers. And now a message from FPL.
FPL is proud to support our first responders in good weather and bad. See how at FPL.com.
Couple of hits in the inning. Justin Turner dumping one out into right field to lead off the inning. Matt Kemp flew out. Austin Barnes with a hot shot down the third base line. Knocked down by Martin Prado to keep it on the infield, keep it from being an extra base hit in the corner. And then Cody Bellinger with the fly ball to set up a 2 on 2 out situation for Logan Forsythe. Strike to Forsythe, who flew out to Brian Anderson in right field back in the second inning. Chen approaching 70 pitches. That second inning was his only 1-2-3 inning. But thus far has been able to navigate around the base runners. Tries that pretty much that same spot. But doesn't get the call, or did he? Oh, he did.
I believe he did.
All right.
He's wearing out the outside corner, particularly against the righties. I was thinking back to the Rockies start. Went back and looked at some footage and some sequencing from Chen in that start just to see if we would see it again, and we have. Same corner, same spot. He's really dialing it up.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. I think I just need a more demonstrative call from Jerry Lane. That's just me moving the target off of myself.
Yeah, listen, Jerry's one of the best in the game. He's mild-mannered. Right? He's not going to give you the...
And let's put it this way. He's not going to change his game for me. I think
that's right.
That's probably fair. A 1-2 pitch. A little too far outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even 70 pitches for Chen. Trying to work around a couple of hits in this inning to the Dodgers in the opener of a 3-game set. And now here comes the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball knocked the mask off of Real Muto, who says he's okay. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now fastball from Chen. See Logan Forsythe get a piece, fouled straight back. Hello, I got a piece of everybody. Jerry Lane as well.
Real Muto going with that traditional catcher's mask as opposed to that hockey style mask.
Surprised?
Am I? No, no, no.
JT, personality,
tough
no.
guy. Yeah.
Love it. Nice job on the breaking ball. Some guys, I was always, when the hockey mask, it started to come out towards the end of my career, early 2000s, and you can almost kind of characterize, personality-wise. You get to know these guys. You play with each other, year after year after year. You short conversations at home plate and stuff. But you can kind of, peg them. Like the hockey mask, like who those guys would be, and then the old school mask, who those guys would be.
Right.
Not everybody's gone with the hockey mask.
3-2 is going to release the runners as Forsythe Flies this one out to left field. Maben making his way in to put it away for the final out here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th here in Miami. Is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. The Cleveland Clinic. Stiff joints, aches and pains. Trust Cleveland Clinic, Florida, the #1 orthopedic care in Florida. And by the Lincoln Spring Sales Event. Drive in the spring in a new Lincoln. Nice night in Miami. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, Craig Minervini, Jessica Blaylock, the Dodgers, the Marlins. Everybody's here. And you are too. It's a Twitter Tuesday. So we'll get to some of those as we roll along here. Brian Anderson, Justin Bohr, Cameron Maben, 4, 5, and 6. Due up for the Marlins against Alex Wood. First pitch swinging for Anderson. He comes up empty. It's 0-1. Anderson grounded into that 6-4 fielder's choice that also included an E4. And it was on the error that allowed Martin Prado to score back in the first inning. So I've got one here. I don't want to necessarily call this one a complaint, but just asking. This is from Eddie Rodriguez. They could be better hitters. This is talking about Bohr and Prado if they were more aggressive. They both look at the first pitch and then they finish with one swing of the bat. As Anderson, foul. You know, the Marlins don't have a base stealer. He goes on to say, just basically talking about the approach of Martin Prado. As he said to me before the game, he just likes to see a lot of pitches.
Well, I would disagree with that because I think that, you know, I'm a firm believer in this. Everybody has a different offensive philosophy, whether it's me, Martin Prado, you know, Frankie Menachino. I mean, you could talk to a lot of different people and they're going to give you a different idea. But here's the thing. One thing that I learned throughout my career and even now is that you've got to be comfortable with whatever your style is. Now, that email to me would hit home because that's exactly what I was. I was a first pitch fastball hitter, and my whole game was avoiding secondary pitches because I was not good at hitting secondary pitches. But that's not the case with these two guys. These two guys do a very nice job, especially, I mean, look at Martin Prado's career numbers.
Right.
Fantastic. I mean, across the board. Near 300 hitter, on base percentage well above 350. You could say the same thing for Bohr. It's his style. Now, Bohr's walked a little bit more, but part of that is he hasn't been challenged a whole lot. You know, you look even this month with all the home runs and all the walks, the two go together. They make sense, right? What did I say the other day?
A line drive, base hit for Brian Anderson, utilizing the middle of the diamond. A leadoff single here in the 4th.
Not to be denied. Great swing. Just missed a double down into the left field corner. Great swing of the bat through the middle. game in a bat adjustment, changeup. Off a few of them, he turned it over and stayed through it. Nice job. He gets around that. It's on the ground. It's probably an out. Now, my comment the other day was we had to get a closer into the ball game to get Bora pitch to hit, and it was 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and it was one of the most impressive home runs we've seen this season. Turned on it, upper deck. So everybody's different. It's a tough question to answer. You can't really say, okay, turn it up and be aggressive. It's not your style.
That one is flown down the right field side and into the seats. On Sunday, though, he kept this one a lot straighter.
It still gives me chills. I mean, it was that was it took me back to the home run derby last year. You know, watching him hit. Look where that ball halfway up the upper deck, second deck. Unbelievable. And he went up there looking for a fastball. He got one and he didn't miss it. Third pinch hit home run.
It's the most in baseball.
I'm going to have you tomorrow. I got an idea. I think you should go down and tell JB that he's a good pinch hitter and he should do more of it. I see how he takes it.
I did think about that.
Yeah, well, just don't bring me into it. Hey, JB, man, that was an impressive home run the other day. Hey, listen, you should probably, you're really good coming off the bench.
You know that whole 600 at bat thing?
Don't worry about it.
How about like 80? What do you think of that? Think that would work?
Give you a nasty look.
A ball and 2 strikes, and he's able to hold up, so it's 2-2.
That's a pretty good example, as I told you, Wood not afraid to throw the changeup to both sides of the plate. That's what he did. Tried to run one underneath the hands. JB.
Next pitch will be number 50 for Alex Wood. A line drive into center field that will fall. So, for the second time in this ball game, the Marlins have back-to-back singles to start an inning.
Come join us at the Clevelander here at Marlins Park on Saturday, May 26th. For more than 20 different domestic and international brews. Tickets start at just $30 when the Marlins take on the Nationals. You get early access to the party at the Clevelander here at Marlins Park. Purchase your tickets at marlins.com/beerfest.
So now Cameron Maben. Laid down a bunt back in the second inning. Let's see if he does that here. Turner is in at third, expecting one. Maben doesn't square on the first pitch. That is low. And it's a ball and no strikes. Maben.
First 2 guys on in the first inning led to a run. Second inning, they had 2 of the first 3 guys on, were unable to score. Some bad luck. Literally, first 2 on here. So Marlins doing a good job of giving themselves an opportunity. Of course, we continue to talk 40 games into this season how the Marlins are going to get it done offensively when you don't have as much power as everybody else. Got to find a way to move guys around the bases.
With the hit back in the first inning, Cameron Maben has now registered a hit in 7 of his last 8 games against the Dodgers. But down in the count here, a ball and 2 strikes. That one misses low. 2-2. Miguel Rojas on deck. 6 hits already for the Marlins tonight. 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 2 so far here in the fourth. Looking to add to a 1-0 lead. Maben chops one to third. Turner to second, and Maben beats it out at first.
Yeah, lots of action at third base tonight. It's no different. This is a tough one. Justin Turner, that right there, I think, bought Cameron Maben one more step. Quick turn from Forsythe in second. Watches this ball kind of climbs up and shortens up his arm, so he's got to kind of reverse pivot there after coming up with the baseball.
now a situation for Miguel Rojas where a fly ball could give the Marlins a 2-0 lead. He had a fly ball back in the second inning. Anderson, the runner at third. Maben, the runner at first. Misses low and in.
Changeup. Anticipate from Wood. Whatever you're going to see is going to be down in the zone. He's looking for a ball on the ground. He's not going to just give Rojas something elevated he can put in the air.
This one is in the air towards center field. A long way back for Hernandez, who gets behind this one. But a run will come in to score, and now they throw to first. Maben is back. It's a sacrifice fly and a 2-0 lead.
Well, job well done. Bit of a mistake from Wood. He wanted the ball up. Didn't get up enough. Now by Rojas, kind of leveling off and driving one into deep center field. Well played, Anderson, and increased this Marlins lead.
They've scored 2 runs against Alex Wood, who in his career against the Marlins, or at least in his last 5 starts entering this one, had a 1.39 ERA. 4-0 with a 1.39 ERA. 5 earned runs in 32 1/3 innings. Marlins batters at 226 against him, but as I said before, they've pumped out 6 hits in the first 3 2/3 here tonight, as Lewis Brinson takes that one low, a ball and a strike.
They've done a pretty nice, decent job of not chasing, and that's really what it comes down to. Wood convinced that he'll get swing and misses at the bottom of the zone, particularly with the changeup. For the most part, Marlins hitters have been very patient.
Speaking of patient, just to finish the thought on Lewis Brinson from before, because he had gotten the base hit and we moved past it, but patience was a word that Don Mattingly used with how the team is kind of working with Lewis through these ups and these downs for a youngster right now. Again, there have certainly been flashes. He's got 5 home runs. There have been a lot of strikeouts, but Don Mattingly said the reason why he's still out there every day is because he's not walking around here like he's dragging. He's working with Frank Menachino. He's working with Pags. So as he still tries to figure this all out, and he's been putting together some more competitive at-bats, according to the skipper. No swing there, and the count runs full.
Well, you're absolutely right. Victories have been a lot smaller. Sooner or later, they're going to get bigger. He's going to learn. He's going to figure it out. And when he does, I think he's going to take off.
3-2 with 2 outs. So a head start for Maben over at first. And a swing and a miss for strike 3, but a sacrifice fly from Miguel Rojas gives the Marlins a 2-0 lead. To the top of the 5th inning, Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, Jessica Blaylock, Greg Minervini, got them all. Prospect Spotlight presented to you by Chevrolet. How about Pablo Lopez? 5 starts this season. You like an 0.35 ERA?
I don't even know how to say that.
You like 27 strikeouts compared to 4 walks?
I do.
All right. Acquired in a trade from Seattle for David Phelps last June. Part of this
stuff. How about that? Double A, too.
This revamped farm system for the Marlins. A number of players off to good starts. As Yasiel Puig will lead things off. Puig, Alex Wood, and Chris Taylor. 8-9-1 for the Dodgers. Here into his 5th inning of work is Wei-Yin Chen. Boy, oh boy, has it been a different outing for him. I promise this will be the last time I mention the one against the Cubs, right? 3 innings, 7 hits, and 9 earned runs. Tonight, he's worked 4 innings. He's got 3 strikeouts and a couple of walks.
I've said it time and time again throughout the ballgame. He's done some of his best work in hitters' counts. It's a borderline strike, and he's getting the call. His job getting to the corner. It was so interesting. Looking at Chen's numbers kind of coming in, trying to figure out in so many ways, like, you know, what's going on, what's he battling through. We talked about the extra base hits. And certainly when you're giving up extra bases and home runs, that's all going to cause you damage.
Well, that is the 3rd time tonight that he has led off an inning with a walk. The 4th time tonight that the Dodgers have had the leadoff man on. Our Florida Lottery in-game jackpot. The Los Angeles Dodgers, again, a team that was on the doorstep of a World Series win last year, losing in 7 games, knowing a thing or two about playing with their backs against the wall. Just 4 comeback wins, tied with the Texas Rangers with the fewest comeback victories this year. The bunt popped up, and Prado lays out to make the catch.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He winds up all the way on the foul territory side of first base.
Yes, he did. How about that effort, Marlins fans? Are you kidding me? Check this out. Come on, Martin. Yes, sir. Wow, almost turns 2. It's going to be our bonefish. Fresh catch of the day, as it should. Wow, get it done. Full extension.
Unbelievable play from Martin Prado. He was creeping in and then started sprinting in, and it's a good thing he did.
I believe I'm right. P5.
I just went 5 with a star.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, that was a 5-star catch, no doubt about it. Tremendous effort.
Using all of that 6-foot frame to make that catch for the first out here in the 5th inning.
Great defense. Part of what the Marlins want this season. Things they can control. Effort. All right, getting back to the Chen conversation, kind of looking at some numbers, kind of feeds into what we've seen even tonight. One thing that's down for Chen right now, that was career. 66.5% career strike percentage. That's very common. We talk about a guy throwing 100 pitches. Normally he'll throw 65, 66 strikes, right? Well, Chen is not. He's down below 60%, so he's down 7% on the whole. It's actually down to the upper 50s. That's not what kind of catch caught my eye. Now, his pitches per inning pitched in his career, just a tick below 16, but this year it's up near 18 pitches per inning. Here's what really gets your attention. Pitches per plate appearance is down. So what does that tell you? It tells you that he's at times fallen behind. He's not in the strike zone with nearly as many strikes, but when he is, he's throwing pitches that are down the middle of the plate. They're getting put in play pretty consistently. And that explains the extra base hits. We talked about it tonight. Chen hasn't been spot on with his command. You see he's at 82 pitches.
This one out to center field, and Brinson gonna have to hold up to make the play and then throws it in. Puig gets to second base, and there are 2 on and 1 out here in the 5th. time for our Toyota Inside Look, and it pertains to Chris Taylor. Another road knock for him. So that ups the batting average, which at the start of the day since 2016 was at 295. Something tells me Jose Altuve is good no matter where he plays. JT's pretty good too. And he's actually hit pretty well here at Marlins Park this year. As Real Muto goes out to talk to Chen. Chen has wiggled out of problems and jams already tonight. We'll see if he can do it here in the fifth.
He's done some of his best work to the corners and just some spots where he's needed to make pitchers pitches. He's done it tonight. Juan Nieves is on the phone, so I'm guessing things are going to start shaking. Marlins bullpen. Chen's pitch count sitting at 83. He is in the top of the Dodgers lineup, kind of making his way down. Look at this. Don Mattingly's making his way out of the dugout.
Isn't motion yet. We've seen Whitgren loosening for a little while. Looks like it might be more of a pep talk than a pitching change. I think. Is there a question about mound visits now? All right, so you've got the whole infield. You've got all four umpires. You've got lineup cards. Everybody's holding up a finger, so I think
there's one out.
And we do have a pitching change, everybody.
Switch.
All right. So J.B. Shuck is in, as is Whitgren, your Florida Lottery call to the bullpen. One out, a double switch for Miami. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Don't miss your chance to play for the massive Powerball jackpot. Pick your lucky numbers and get your Powerball ticket at any Florida Lottery retailer. The Florida Lottery, it's your ticket. Claim it. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. So here's what we have. We have Nick Whitgren in the game on the mound. We have Lewis Brinson out of the game. We have Cameron Maben now in center field, and we have J.B. Shuck out in left.
I'll tell you what. You know, you look at the records of these two teams and you gotta see what's going on here in the fifth inning. This is some serious managing going on already, man. All right, Nick Nick Whitgren into the ballgame. Certainly understand this angle. Whitgren's been outstanding. Hasn't allowed a run over his last 8 games, last 8 innings, and has not allowed a hit to a right-handed batter. So the Dodgers counter. Jock Peterson, that's who's pinch hitting right now. There you go. 2 for 7 on the season. He's got 3 walks. He's not done this very well, though, in his career. 5 for 47. It's a 106 average. He's been better this year.
Jock Peterson pinch hitting for Kike Hernandez here in the 5th and takes a called strike.
Whitgren, as I mentioned, very, very good. Throws across that front side. That 92 feels like 94, 95. Good movement on it. We've not seen too many good passes against Whitgren this season.
It's all in how you look at the numbers for Jock Peterson. Last 17 games for him since April 25th. He's hitting .286. But on the recently completed homestand for the Dodgers, 2 for 19. One from Whitgren misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Well, it's kind of how Don Mattingly has used Nick Whitgren, it seems. The Bear Claws, the Steckenriders, the Guerreros seem to get the clean innings, and Whitgren seems to come in more so to finish off innings. Exactly what he's doing right here with a couple of runners aboard. The leadoff walk for Yasiel Puig, the last of 3 for Chen tonight. A terrific play by Martin Prado, diving on the pop-up bunt from Alex Wood for the first out, and then a Chris Taylor base hit. So first and second, 1 out. Whitgren against Peterson. Check over at second, and Puig is back. Line not yet complete on Wei-Yin Chen, but 4 1/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Of course, both of the runners on base his responsibility as Whitgren blows 91 past Peterson. Time for Lowe's whole team together as we focus in on the Marlins. 9.83 strikeouts per 9. That's 3rd in the National League. So among bullpens, they are one of the best as Peterson sends this one in the air. Shuck from left. Maben veers out of the way as Shuck comes up throwing. It's cut off. Throw to second, and Taylor is in there. So both runners advance. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th.
Now again, aggressive base running by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Shuck thinks he's got a shot at third base. That's why you see the throw coming in. Sometimes you can see an outfielder, if he doesn't believe he's got that play at third base, will just back it up into second to keep Taylor out of scoring position. And as soon as he saw that JB was going to go to third, Taylor went back to tag.
So second and third for Justin Turner. One for 2 in this his regular season debut. Inside. They've been trying to get in on the hands. It was a left wrist injury for Justin Turner back in the spring. Played in only 2 rehab games, so there has been some question of whether or not he's, as close to 100% as you could possibly be, or if it's just a matter of trying to get him in the lineup and he can play at whatever number, 80, 90%, pick your number, but just get back in the lineup and try to help out this Dodgers team that's lost 7 of 8.
I think the way that they would see it is this. His presence, whatever he gives you statistically, performance-wise, you'll take as he works himself into shape. They needed his presence back as much as anything, and I think that's where the Dodgers would tell you is his value. He's got his batting gloves on, he's got his bat, he's in the lineup every day, and they're 8 games under 500. They can't let this get too far out of control.
Just off the edge, 2 balls and a strike. Wei-Yin Chen waiting with bated breath as the runners on second and third, his responsibility. Left with a 2-0 lead. Nick Wickren hoping to protect that 2-0 edge. Here's the pitch. Fouled away, 2-2. Turner flew out in the first, singled, and was stranded in the fourth. Chen started 5 innings tonight, and the leadoff man reached in 4 of them. Weig at third, Taylor at second. And that one to the backstop.
A 2-seam fastball.
Right at that left wrist again. Did get a piece of the bat.
Seaver's back leg is. He stands really close to home plate. The back line does have the open stance, so the perception is that he's maybe not standing as close to home plate. See where that back foot, that right foot, it's right on the line. You can't get really any closer to home. There you go. There's a good look at it.
Line to Prado, and the inning is over. Hit it right on the money, but right at Martin. 2-0. Bob Guerin talking with home plate umpire Jerry Lane. We weren't exactly sure what it was all about. Why would a bench coach want to talk to a home plate umpire? That's probably why. Alex Wood was not thrilled with the landscaping around the pitcher's mound. They're so particular, these pitchers, but they've got to have it right. And I certainly respect that. The field so beautifully manicured. And then the first thing the hitter does is go up to the plate, dig a big hole. And then the pitcher, the first thing he does is go out there and dig a big hole. Unbelievable. That's all I got.
There's
There's a lot of holes on the mound. You're right.
2 lefties tonight, so their landing spots could be in different places. We've seen pitchers work from different sides of the rubber. Either individual pitchers doing it or 2 pitchers doing it. But
lefties are naturally off anyway.
Hey, you said it, pal.
I said it because I'm a member, card carrying.
So Wood is happy with the mound and its condition, as he'll see J.B. Shuck came in as part of the double switch in the last half inning. Jock Peterson takes over in center field. And that was for Kike Hernandez last half inning. So 9-1-2 due up for the Marlins. Shuck, Prado, and Real Muto. A strike there. It's 1-1. The hits on the homestand for Shuck. A slow developing play to second, but he is out. Kind of a soft little line drive. Played on a hop by Forsythe. Got rid of it quick and retired the speedy Shuck.
Well, Forsythe's exchange. 1-2, quick release, and a strong throw across. That's what gets him. I think other second basemen have handled this a little bit different. Kind of got around it. Job done. Certainly was able to make a strong throw. That was the key. Shuck flying down the line.
So top of the order for Martin Prado, who singled and scored a run back in the first inning, and he lines this one into left center field. A base hit for Prado, his second of the night. Let's go downstairs to check in with Greg Minervini.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. You saw the speed of J.B. Shuck on the last play. What about the catchers in this game? If you look at StatCast and the sprint speed, you've got the 2 fastest catchers in baseball right there in the batter circle right now. J.T. Realmuto is #1, and Austin Barnes is #2 in speed foot per second. Now, the big difference is on that pop time, the catching the ball throw to second, where Realmuto leads all catchers, and Barnes is among the final, probably the last 5 to 8 guys. He's a little slower, almost a third of a second slower to get the ball to second base.
Greg, thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, you look at JT Realmuto, and he is the total package, right? I mean, on a short list, and you could easily make a case that he is the best all-around catcher in Major League Baseball right now.
Well, we'll see as this year goes on. I think he had the breakout year last year. I think a lot of people around the nation just didn't notice because there were so many other stories that were going on with the Marlins. My personal opinion, if it comes together this year, it wouldn't surprise me. But you saw it. I saw it all last year. It's just like I couldn't get over. You know, I certainly understood the staple buzz that goes through the National League. Yadi Molina, Buster Posey. You know,
right.
like just over and over and over again. And I think a lot of people, when sometimes you have to do something really incredible to get people off the obvious storyline, which has been in play for a lot of years. And I think that's what JT may be on the verge of doing this season.
Yeah, I mean, we're a long way to go, right?
Right. Well,
to the All-Star game, but I think a tremendous case to be in the All-Star game.
You know, I saw what happened to Yadi the other day. You know, the foul ball and the surgery, knowing he was missing time. You know, the first thing I thought of, this is great for JT. He's got an opportunity to take advantage of, you know, Molina being down for 4 weeks. Now, that's me talking. Now I'm talking out loud, of course, so everybody's thinking the same thing. But,
yeah,
you know, that's what, it's not a knock on Molina. It's just that JT belongs in that conversation, and he should have been at the All-Star game last year, in all honesty.
Right, and I think that that's the blessing and the curse of the fan vote. And that's not to say that there are not some intelligent fans out there. A lot of them are. Don't get me wrong. But there is certainly sometimes a narrative at play.
Sure.
In a lot of these positions.
Well, JT impacts the game, you know, in all the ways that he possibly can. We talk about his foot speed, we talk about his pop time, we talk about, you know, being a good defensive catcher, how he continues to grow and get better, and then you get to his offensive skill set.
And he works the count full against Alex Wood here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 lead for the Marlins. Brian Anderson drove in a run with a fielder's choice and an error back in the first inning. A Miguel Rojas sacrifice fly in the fourth, accounting for both Marlins runs in this one. As the story continues to be for Alex Wood not getting run support. Runner on the move. Turner with a terrific play down the line, and it pulled Bellinger off the bag. Real Muto with said speed, able to get down the line, and there are 2 on and 1 out.
Well, and see how you reclaim the margin when you've got that foot speed down the line. Great example. So nice job, Craig Minervini, right? You set this up, you nailed it. Great job. So the throw is just off by what? A foot. And that's all it takes. JT beats it out. Great play by Turner over at third. Goes to the backhand down the line from foul territory. Strong throw, but it's off a foot. Yeah, Bellinger's a big kid. He's got a long reach. But it's just off the bag. JT gets his second hit of the night.
So JT with a multi-hit game. That's his 8th already. And Martin Prado with a multi-hit game. He's on at second base right now. That is his 3rd of the season. So Real Muto just loves playing the Dodgers.
This is the 4th inning. The Marlins have had either the first 2 guys on or 2 of the first 3 guys on. It's turned into 2 runs. You certainly hope it turns into a little bit more. All 8 hits tonight, singles.
Starlin Castro at the dish, 2 on, and chops one wide of the third base bag. Struck out back in the first, one of 4 strikeouts tonight for Alex Wood, and flew out to right field back in the third. Comes the 0-1, and that is fouled back. 0-2.
Castro came into tonight's ballgame with outstanding numbers against Alex Wood. 5 for 7. Actually, the best numbers among the Marlins players.
One of their best with runners in scoring position, a .321 hitter in these situations. And he is called out on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. There is 1 away.
All right, let's give you the Toyota trend for tonight's ball game. We certainly wanted to see Sterling come through in that situation. We gave you the numbers. He had good numbers against him coming in, but number 3 hitters in Alex Wood, you see it, are now 1 for 23 on the season. Really been able to do some of his best work against the game's best hitters.
How do you explain that? Right? I mean,
you know, I have a knack for finding it. I don't always have a knack for explaining it.
Yeah, I mean, that was obviously
I ran across that one. I did, right. But you're right, because that's a question I ask myself.
Yeah.
And I try to make sense of it. And, you know, you play the, you know, like, all right, well, let's see what happens. Let's keep our eye on it.
Right.
And lo and behold, you know, 3 at-bats in, you're telling yourself, boy, oh boy, another 0 for 3.
Well, here's Anderson again, drove in the run on the fielder's choice and error back in the first inning. A chopper off the glove of Wood, redirected to Taylor, who makes the throw over to first. And that's going to do it here in the 5th inning. Marlins strand a couple, but still lead it 2-0.
just to make my name in the city. Took everything, put it on the line.
Welcome back to Miami. The Marlins have themselves a 2-0 lead against the Dodgers. 0-3-1 for LA, 2-8-0 for the Marlins. As we open up a 3-game set against the Dodgers, then after this, no more Dodgers in the regular season. They go their way, the Marlins go theirs. A couple of night games and then a Thursday afternoon game before the road trip starts through Atlanta and to the New York Mets. Matt Kemp to lead things off. Kemp, Barnes, and Bellinger. Due up here in the top of the 6th inning. Nick Whitgren, who finished the 5th, is back out for his 2nd inning of work. Kemp today, a strikeout back in the 1st inning and a flyout in the 4th. One of 3 strikeouts for Wei-Yin Chen. 4 1/3 tonight, 4 hits. Check that, 3 hits. As Kemp fouls this one off. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Kemp up now. Yasmani Grandal has moved into the on-deck circle and figures to hit for Austin Barnes. Their team leader in home runs. On a hop to Rojas. And there is one away. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jessica.
Hey, Paul, tonight we've been talking about the hashtag baseball feats and great accomplishments in the history of the game. Here are a few that I've seen from fans on Twitter. Cal Ripken Jr.'s Ironman streak of 2,632 consecutive games played. How about Ricky Henderson's 1,270 stolen bases? Also, Walter Johnson's 110 career shutouts. Paul Todd, when you think about incredible baseball feats, what stands out to you?
Wow, there are a lot of them that you could easily say are untouchable. A lot of them. In a day and age where some starters, most starters, aren't getting wins, I don't think anybody's getting to 511 wins to match Cy Young, and I certainly don't think that they're going to rename the award.
Yeah, you're right about that. We'll go with a little hashtag Mattingly moonshots. How about that, right?
Ooh.
Don Mattingly, our beloved skipper. Of course, we share a birthday, so I kind of wanted to go there anyway. Homered in 8 straight games. How about that? I mean, I think that is so cool when, you know, as a former hitter, certainly understand and know how hard that was. I mean, wow, are you kidding me? Homered in 8 straight games, titled Dale Long, Pittsburgh Pirates, 1956. And then it was tied by Ken Griffey Jr. He did it himself in 1993. So this all took place in 1987. It's the same year that he hit all his career grand slams, all 6 of them.
Isn't that something?
I mean, it's just like, I know, like, much smaller sample size. Like, in my mind, like, I know where he was that year. Like, you know, as a hitter. He was locked in. He saw the ball great all season long. And he was right where he needed to be. And homering in 8 straight, good luck with that.
Now, this was the 8th. Now, wasn't it? It's also the record of grand slams in a single season, correct?
Yeah, look at the approach. I mean, opposite field power. I mean, like Don Mattingly to me, like I'm a lefty too, you know, so.
Grandal out to left. Shuck will track it down for out number 2.
Like growing up watching Don Mattingly, tried that swing. Like that swing so didn't work for me. Like so, you know, like you know, when you're in the backyard and you're playing wiffle ball and you got your yellow bat and the ball and everything, right? We can do everybody's swing.
Right.
Like I couldn't do Donnie's swing though. I mean, Donnie got in the crouch, he had his hands down low, and he generated so much power. Like every time I did that, I tap back to the mound. Watch this. Watch his legs. He kind of compressed. See, kind of would compress down, and then kind of come back up through his swing, and he just had so much power up and through the baseball.
This guy's got some power. Cody Bellinger, big swing there, 0-1.
He certainly does. So yeah, that's what I did. Mattingly moonshots. I threw a little hashtag in there.
That's nice. One to Bellinger. This is off the edge. Bellinger tonight a strikeout in the 2nd and a fly out in the 4th. I am sitting on an email on this email Twitter Tuesday.
We'll move over then.
I think you no, it doesn't hurt. This one is from E.A. Hemingway. Tuesday rolls around pretty fast. You are doing better, and that makes me happy. Thank you. It makes me happy too. I had a great birthday last week. Lots of well wishes for many friends. This will be a great year if you just keep getting better, and I'm sure you will. Love you all. The 97-year-old lady from Panama City Beach.
There you go.
97 and still tuning in and still being involved. I dig that. Chuck heading toward the line. Has room, and it is a 1-2-3 6th inning for Nick Whitgren. A 2-0 lead for the Marlins.
Hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Welcome back. It is a 2-0 lead for the Marlins. Yasmani Grandal takes over behind the plate as he came in to pinch hit. Alex Wood still out there. He'll face Justin Bohr, Cameron Maben, and Miguel Rojas here in the 6th inning. The Marlins up a pair. A single run in the 1st and the 4th. Tehran Guerrero beginning to loosen after a nice outing, assuming that it is done, for Nick Whitgren. Whitgren came in to get the last 2 outs of the 5th inning and then worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. The 0-2 to Bohr takes that one inside. Bohr struck out back in the 1st and got a base hit in the 4th. Five innings of work tonight for Alex Wood. He has surrendered 8 hits, but he has been able to wiggle around them as the Marlins have left 5 men on base tonight. However, the Marlins still up 2-0 here in the last of the 6th.
Justin Bohr has done a very nice job tonight against Wood. Now he came in against him 0 for 5, so tonight's base hit, his first hit against Wood, has stayed off the pitch on the inside corner. Off the inside corner, I should correct myself, meaning Wood has gone inside, particularly with the changeup. A lot of times that'll throw a left-handed hitter off, just even seeing a changeup from another lefty, but with some arm side run, it's about location, it's not about velocity. And JB has, like I said, done a nice job defending that inside part of the plate.
Into the shift and through the shift for Justin Bohr. It was past the dive of Justin Turner. Logan Forsythe couldn't get to it. And into right field, second hit of the night for JB.
Well, nice job. Good piece of hitting with 2 strikes. Is it hard? That's right. In this day and age where defensive overshifting happens, you'll see big guys lumbering down the first base line straight through, kind of like you do in Little League sometimes when you're worried about the right fielder throwing you out.
4th multi-hit game this year for Justin Bohr, and once again, Marlins have the leadoff man on base. Well, there has certainly been some traffic. As Cameron Maben has one of the 9 Marlins hits, a bunt single back in the 2nd inning. To first, Bellinger to get 1, no chance of getting the speedy Maben. So a fielder's choice, 1 away. First of a 3-game series here tonight. One of the other series going on in Major League Baseball between 2 of the absolute hottest teams in baseball. The Yankees, who have won 19 of 22. The Nationals, who have won 13 of 15. So a knockdown, drag-out affair in D.C. Currently tied at 3 in the 6th inning, and that one is being delayed by rain. Washington, D.C. is where the Dodgers go after this. Again, on paper at the beginning of the year, you'd think, well, that is going to be quite the showdown. The way the Dodgers have been going and the way the Nationals have been going, only time will tell. Of course, the Nats don't have, or the Dodgers rather, don't have their eyes on the Nats at the moment. Miguel Rojas with the sacrifice fly in the 4th to drive home the 2nd Marlins run.
I'm no surprise to see this Dodgers bullpen up and at him. Wood has not gone past 100 pitches. In fact, he hasn't even gone to 100 pitches in any start this season. This pitch will be number 92.
Fastball in off the inside corner. Ball and 2 strikes. Chopped up the middle. Taylor on the backhand flip to Forsythe. And he gets Rojas. So a big double play ball rolled there by Alex Wood. A nice turn by the Dodgers. But it's the Marlins still in front as we go to the 7th. Seventh inning, Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, Jessica Blaylock, Craig Minervini, all with you here tonight. This summer, the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 30 days away, only on Fox and FS1. New pitcher for the Marlins, third of the night, as Tayron Guerrero getting set to pitch in his 21st game this year. 31 strikeouts compared to 9 walks. You know about the big arm, as he is certainly settling into these late inning big spots, these high leverage situations for the Marlins, and he has fared rather well.
Well, he really has. About how much he has grown up and matured. The damage he gave up early on in April. He's recovered, gotten the ERA down under 4, did give up a run about 3 or 4 outings ago. The reason I bring that up, just to keep an eye on it. Been the first time where he had an extended few days off in between appearances. He did give up a run May 6th.
He will face Forsythe, Puig, and right now Alex Wood. It looks as though there is some stirring in the hole there for the Dodgers. Looks like Max Muncy has grabbed it back. Forsythe 0 for 2 in his return off the disabled list. Takes inside, 99 miles an hour upstairs, and it's 1-1. At 97, another fastball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. There you go. Home plate umpire Jerry Lane says yes. Real Muto is waiting for some clarification on that one.
Here at JT's team tonight, is that right?
Well, you want that. We have terrific audio, right? You want the microphones turned up so we can hear some things. It's,
you know, it's funny.
It's not all the time. This one is a fly ball out to right field. Brian Anderson will make the catch.
You know what's so funny about that is I was around Jerry Lane my entire career. I'm rather used to it. So it's not bothering me as much as I think it's bothering others. All right, here you go. A burger, a beer, and a ball game. Start the weekend off right with Modelo Burger and Beer Fridays. Enjoy this fantastic deal on May 25th. The Marlins take on the Nationals at 7:10 p.m. You can start at just $30. Get your tickets at marlins.com/burger. Very, very popular day here at Marlins Park.
I love burgers. Let me tell you that.
Just going off attendance at the last one, it was outstanding. So let that be known to all Marlins fans. Very popular night to come out.
I think your sales job had something to do with it. Don't shortchange yourself. You know, the burgers are tasty. Beer
I did brag about that a little bit.
But, you know, you really sold it.
I was trying to.
You made it sound like fun.
I'm doing it right now because I'm trying to get everybody to come out.
Hey, and listen, if they want to throw a couple of burgers up to the booth, it's not like I'm going to turn it away.
Nobody would complain.
You know, medium rare, it's fine. Here's Puig, taking 100 miles an hour off the edge. Puig tonight, no official at-bats, a couple of walks. How about the outing for Nick Whitgren prior to Guerrero taking over? Inning and 2/3, didn't give up any hits. 24 pitches, 15 strikes. That middle relief role for Whitgren, he has certainly succeeded.
Keep on keeping on, right?
Puig with a drive out to left field. Chuck is back. He's at the track. And this is a one-run ball game. It took Puig until yesterday to get his first homer. His second comes today.
right in time. No, this was not 98. This was the slider. That's right. Go behind. First slider he throws. 84. Right down the middle of the plate. Still Puig. Fairly certain from the minute he made contact this ball was going to go out to left, and it did.
The home run came Sunday, but either way, back-to-back games with a home run for Yasiel Puig, and now it's 2-1. And here is the pinch hitter, Max Muncy.
Puig, his 5th career home run here at Marlins Park.
There was some thought and hope, certainly from the Dodgers side, that a little home cooking would do him well. And that at-bat against Guerrero, it did. An excuse me swing. Guerrero fields, and we'll tag Muncy for the second out. So the day done for Alex Wood. Adam Liberatore loosens for the Dodgers. Back to the top of the lineup. Here is Chris Taylor. Taylor walked in the first. He fouled out in the third and singled in the fifth. A 2-1 lead after the Yasiel Puig home run. Inside to Chris Taylor. Mentioned before, the Dodgers have but 4 comeback wins this season. Marlins trying to keep it right there at 4. Marlins have had some opportunities today. They've left 5 runners on base. A couple of inning-ending double plays have hurt their attempt to add on, as Maben will put away the line drive off the bat of Taylor. Dodgers get 1 on the homer from Puig. It's time to stretch. Miami up 2-1. Take it back to the first inning. Brian Anderson with a ground ball to short. Ball in the dirt over at first. Bellinger knocked it down. Martin Prado hustles all the way around from second to come in and score and give the Marlins a 1-0 lead. They would take a 2-0 lead on this sacrifice fly in the 4th inning from Miguel Rojas to score Brian Anderson. And they had that 2-0 lead until a few moments ago when Teheran Guerrero served up the home run to Yasiel Puig, his 2nd of the season, 2nd in as many games for the Dodgers right fielder. But now it is a 1-run game, and the Dodgers are headed to their bullpen as Adam Liberatore will come in to work. And this is a bullpen that has certainly scuffled among National League teams. They are 13th in ERA, 12th in hits per 9, and 15th in home runs allowed. The numbers on Liberatore in his 12th game. Rivera smacks one toward the left center field gap. That one is going to bounce off the wall. Easily 2 for Rivera. He will stay put right there. A pinch hit double to lead off the 7th for Yadiel Rivera.
Nicely done. Great swing from the young man. Deep drive into left center field. Fastball at 88 out over the plate. Does not miss it. And down on his way to second. Was thinking about 3 for about a half a second. Marlins' first extra base hit tonight. Looking to counter the Dodgers' run. Big home run. They'd love to be able to add on here in the 7th.
Well, they had the leadoff man on in the 1st. He came around to score. Leadoff man on in the 2nd. Wood worked 1, 2, 3, 3rd. Leadoff man came around to score in the 4th. This one, a bunt laid down by Shuck. Liberatore fires to first, and it's a close play, but Shuck is out. Wow. Boy, he put the pressure on the Dodgers defense, didn't he?
What a fantastic bunt. Way to get out of the box. Did everything right as far as putting, yeah, you said it, put pressure on the Dodger defense. Liberatore does a nice job putting himself in position to make a strong throw to Forsythe. Look how close at first. My goodness. Tell you what, 2 bunts between Shuck and Maben down the 3rd baseline. Put on a little clinic tonight. Juan Pierre would be proud.
That's right. 5 of the 7 innings, the Marlins have had the first runner on. Can they push him across again? Another pitching change. Florida Lottery called the pen. Back at home. Double, moving over to 3rd on the sacrifice bunt by J.B. Shuck. As Geico gives us this day in Marlins history, May 16, 2011, Bert Badenhop earning the win in relief, and he drove in the winning run. Part of a 2-1 Marlins victory over the New York Mets in 11 innings. Second time that the pitcher got a win in relief and the game-winning RBI. J.T. Chagua is in his 18th game this season for the Los Angeles Dodgers, as they will play with the infield in. Martin Prado at the plate. A man on 3rd and 1 out.
Four-seamer, occasional sinker, slider, change. That's what you're going to see an awful lot of from Chagua. See a lot of those sliders. In fact, he throws more sliders than fastballs.
He's that kind of pitcher.
Yes, he is. It's so interesting today's game. He throws hard too, 96 miles an hour.
Had a little wrinkle in it. Caught the outside edge, and now it's a ball and a strike to Martin Prado, who singled and scored in the first, grounded out in the third, and singled in the fifth. One and two. Well, as I said, going to break, the Marlins have had the leadoff man on base in 5 of the 7 innings. They have 10 hits today. At the moment, they are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position, 5 left on base. They have had their chances against Wood, now Lipitor and Chagua. That one misses outside, 2-2.
Now 4 consecutive sliders from Chagua. He's not throwing four-seam fastball yet. He's throwing 4. I'm guessing he'll probably throw 5.
Again, infield in for the Dodgers. Here is the 2-2. Well, it's inside the our strike zone there, but you saw how much Grandal moves. Wanted it low and away. Got the exact opposite quadrant. And here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Another slider.
Well, 6 consecutive, including the one he backed up at 2-2. Started down this path, wanted to stay there. I think as much Prado's reaction to this very tough slider, hard to pick up. You see it buried off the outside corner. And a big out, number 2 for the Dodgers.
Now JT Realmuto. Singles in the first and fifth tonight.
Well, to no surprise of anybody watching tonight, between the Dodgers and the Marlins, 0 for 14 combined with runners in scoring position.
The Dodgers entered play with the 5th most left on base in baseball. Only Cincinnati, San Francisco, Washington, and Houston left on more. Marlins trying not to leave another one on right here, as it's inside to Realmuto, 1-1. Kyle Barraclough figures to get the 8th inning, protecting at least a 1-run lead. But insurance in the person of Yadiel Rivera, 90 feet away. All back. Team entering today, the Marlins hitting just .207 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. A ball and 2 strikes from Chagua. A little bit like Sergio Romo, right? Like, you know it's coming. It's almost like there's varying degrees of the slider.
Right, but there's one X factor with Romo. Romo threw 88, 89 miles an hour. I mean, yes. This young man throws hard. He throws 95, 96. It's in the back of every hitter's mind. You're right. I mean, he's really almost exclusively, I think he's thrown the one fastball to JT a couple of pitches ago, but stayed with the slider. And certainly, you see why. It's got great movement. He's got a base open, and not that he's trying to create more traffic, but you're at the top of this Marlins lineup. Got a little wiggle room, especially when you get ahead. see where his confidence lies. Grandal wanted to go to the fastball. Back to the slider.
3-2 is ripped into left field. It's a base hit. Rivera's going to score. Realmuto on his way to second base. And he is in there standing up with an RBI double. It's 3-1 Miami.
Give JT Realmuto enough looks at any particular pitch right now, he will eventually do some big damage. Certainly saw enough sliders. And this one backed up. This one gets back to the inside corner. He rips it into the left field corner. Well done. Marlins first hit with a runner in scoring position tonight. They reclaimed that winning home run. The lead back up to 2. Nice swing. Say it time and time again, the key to great hitting, don't miss your pitch. When you get it, don't miss it. JT's been doing it all season.
5th double, 2nd 3-hit game of the year. Starlin Castro takes upstairs. Marlins took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Jump-started the Marlins run of winning 4 consecutive series. You can make a case that it kind of started the funk that the Dodgers have been in.
I said it then. Felt like, of course, there's a lot more evidence than just that particular series, but that the Dodgers didn't really show up to play. There was a lot of errors throughout that series. They made some mistakes. They didn't hit particularly well. Of course, they've got all the evidence you need now. They're 8 games under 500. 3-7 over their last 10 games.
Once again, the bullpen struggles for the Dodgers. But the Marlins will take that 7 days a week as they have reclaimed their 2-run lead here in the late innings. Starlin Castro takes a called strike on the fastball, 2-1.
It was interesting, even going back to the JT at bat. Grandal wanted the fastball, wanted to go fastball away. Now, of course, he'd only thrown 1 fastball. Most of his sequencing, both Prado and JT Realmuto, was the slider. Chiguah wanted to go back to the slider. Oop, that one got up and in. Essentially, Chiguah shook off Grandal back to the slider. Did you see this one get away, up and in?
And somehow missed
everything.
Handle.
Didn't get a handle, didn't get a fingernail, nothing.
Wow.
Just the glove.
Amazing. It's like a hologram up there. Here's the 3-1. Misses low. He'll take his base anyway. So 2 on and 2 out for the Marlins. Now a message from FPL.
FPL is proud to support our first responders in good weather and bad. See how at FPL.com.
So here is Brian Anderson. Marlins' best hitter with runners in scoring position this year. Another opportunity as Scott Alexander, the lefty, loosens for the Dodgers. Realmuto, the runner, at second. Castro at first. Anderson, who's been in the middle of a couple of run scoring plays tonight for the Marlins, will step in.
Brian Anderson certainly has been watching the sequencing going on right before his eyes. Right-handed hitters before him. Game plans well. Showed you those numbers with runners in scoring position. He's also hitting .333 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Very good job in these key situations that demand a base hit.
Hitters count for Anderson here in the 7th. And he'll take a look at the fastball. 2-1. RBIs this season for Brian Anderson, second on the team to Justin Bohr, who waits on deck. And 2-2. Anderson clearly looking for the slider. Schwab pumps in a couple of fastballs. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. And a 2-run lead for Miami. They get a little larger right here. A base hit to right field. Puig throws to third. And Castro is out. But Real Muto in before the tag was applied. And the Marlins have a 4-1 lead as we go to the 8th inning. So Anderson comes through again. Castro out, but again, the run in. Marlins up by 3. Front 4-1. It is time for tonight's Coors Light refreshing finish. Martin Prado not pictured until he comes diving in to make the play. Attempts the double play at first base, but on a sac bunt attempt by Alex Wood, Prado says, "I don't think so."
Unbelievable. I'm not sure we're going to see a better catch from Martin Prado this year. Are you kidding me? How many times in our lives have we seen a third baseman make a diving catch across the first baseline? Ever? I don't think so.
Unbelievable play. Kyle Bearclaw in for the 19th time this year. An opponent batting average of 133 and an ERA a little north of 2. He has been fantastic.
He's had a very nice season. Kyle, maybe the 8th inning. These high pressure, high leverage situations, has done a very nice job. Fastball, wipeout slider. We've seen the changeup a little bit this year.
Jock Peterson to lead it off for the Dodgers. Takes a called strike. Peterson, Turner, Kemp due up for LA. Now down 3.
And lefties hit 129. Righties 138. It's Kyle this season. Good luck.
Well, here's the thing. It's nice to have as many options as Don Mattingly does in the bullpen. We have seen Whitgren be good tonight for an inning and 2/3. We have seen Guerrero be good tonight as well. He did give up the home run to Puig, but in I guess a more general sense, he has been fantastic. Bearclaw, and all of this while Drew Steckenrider, his last couple of outings have been a lot less than the dominant second rider that we're used to. So while he works through whatever he is working through at the moment, the typical ups and downs that a reliever may have, it's nice to have different guys to go to in these high leverage situations.
Now he's covered. Steph will get back. He'll get right. Stuff's too good.
The game started by Wei-Yin Chen. Nice to see him getting back on track after a couple of rough road outings through Cincinnati and Chicago. Tonight only worked 4 1/3, but the 3 hits, the no runs was better. Certainly a step in the right direction for Wei-Yin Chen. As Peterson fouls another one back. Still 1-2. After Chen, Nick Whitgren for an inning and 2/3. As I mentioned, Guerrero served up the home run to Yasiel Puig that at the time closed the gap to 2-1. Marlins on top, but Miami answered right back. Nice to see a bounce back inning. They scored a couple and extended the lead back to 3. A line drive to Bohr at first, 1 away.
Good start to the 8th. Take the outs wherever you get them. Line drives, they all count in the scorebook. Same way, first out of the inning. Contact. Say this, Peterson a little out in front. See that top hand come off the bat.
So now Justin Turner, his first game off the disabled list, has a hit in this one. 1 for 3. Swings and misses there, and it's 0-1. Single came back in the 4th inning. 4 hits today for the Dodgers. Two.
Certainly see Turner. Certainly feels, seeing his at bats tonight, that there's a little rust working its way off. Swung through some fastballs. He's got to get his timing back. You mentioned how he has not had much of a rehab assignment for somebody who missed as much time as he has.
Castro moves back to play the hop and retires Turner. 2 away. Marlins up 4-1 here in the 8th, opener of a 3-game set between these two teams. Tomorrow, it's Caleb Smith on the mound against Walker Buehler, who was part of that combined no-hitter that the Dodgers threw against the Padres a couple of weeks back. So a terrific pitching matchup. 2 youngsters, Craig Minervini, Jeff Nelson, have you covered. Marlins Live pregame show presented to you by your South Florida Honda dealers. 101 pitches last time out against the Braves. 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Of course, the game didn't necessarily end as close as it looked as though it was going to. The Braves exploded for some runs late in that ball game, but bottom line is Caleb Smith has been throwing the ball extremely well as of late.
Well, he certainly has. Looking forward to tomorrow night's start. He's in a good spot, and he's clearly building off it. You see that confidence and challenging some hitters. You saw that stat line against the Braves. Let's remember, it was the Braves, and certainly they're one of the toughest offenses in the game of baseball right now.
A ball and a strike to Matt Kemp, who struck out back in the first. 0 for 3 tonight. Now ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 at-bats between these two. And Kemp is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout against Kyle Bearclaw.
That's been brought to my attention. Thought maybe we might grab a glimpse of the Dodger bullpen. I believe Vendetti's up. Getting both his arms loose. There he is.
Just doing the swim move.
I wanted to, listen, I wanted to jump in and see what's going on. Hey, there's a former teammate, Mark Pryor. I forgot he's Dodger flew nowadays. The bullpen coach for the Dodgers. Vendetti, yeah, was warming up, throwing left-handed. Then he switched and went over to the right side. I guess he's back at left-handed now.
Yes. For those that don't know, he is one of these ambidextrous
switch throwers.
pitchers. Yeah, that's right. You can see the glove. I'm sure if he gets into this game, we'll have a closer look at it. But yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting weapon. And in this day and age of baseball, where every roster spot is worth its weight in gold, you like switch hitters, you like guys that can play multiple positions. Heck, you like guys that throw with both arms. Well, Bearclaw throws with his right, and he strikes out Matt Kemp. We head to the last of the 8th. It's the Marlins up 4-1.
Tuesday, one baseball feat that we've talked about tonight, Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. And for manager Don Mattingly, he thinks that is one record that will never be broken.
I think it's untouchable at this point. You know, I think we see number of strikeouts, the number of guys with the ball in play, strikeouts, walks. Oh, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard, right? Just to get one, but it is. And it's just the consistency of it, I think. I mean, we've seen a few guys take runs at it, and it's just, I think it's probably harder now to put up a hit every night than ever.
Unbelievable to think about a 56-game hitting streak. Guys, I'm with Don Mattingly. I don't think that record will ever be touched.
I would agree, Jessica. Thank you very much. Yeah, what a year. To hit 56 straight. I was just about to look up the details. I think that in game 57, there was a great play at third base, I believe. One or two. And then he went on another hit streak. And again, I'll clean up the mess on the details in a second, as Pat Venditti is in, throwing from the left side. Even though he took warm-up tosses on the mound from the right side.
He did. Well, he saw JB come out.
Justin Moore with a drive out to right center field. Puig is back. He's on the track, and he makes the catch for the first out here in the 8th.
And there you go. He just switched hands. Pretty good look at it. He's now going to Cameron Maben, right-handed.
He can do that. It's just with a switch hitter where things get a little iffy. Here is Maben.
There's nothing better than a good standoff.
That's it. He's got to declare,
yes,
which side he is going to throw from. That's it.
There you go. Talking about that glove that works both directions. I'd be willing to bet that it's got one pocket, obviously, and then the webbing on both sides. You can see it. Yep, there you go. You see the top side there, kind of where his thumb is, and then you look back on the other side of the glove is the same webbing.
Greg Harris was another one of these guys, right? It's the only other one I can think of. Greg Harris pitched in the 90s, maybe the late 80s, 90s. 2-1 to Maven, who has reached 3 times tonight. Single in the 2nd. Reached on a couple of fielder's choices in the 4th and the 6th. And chopped to 2nd. Forsythe on the run, 2 away.
MLB At Bat is your #1 app for Marlins baseball. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Marlins home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
2 up and 2 down for Pat Venditti, and here is Miguel Rojas, who had himself a sacrifice fly back in the 4th inning. Gave the Marlins a 2-0 lead at that time. They currently lead it 4-1 with 2 outs in the 8th. Brad Ziegler loosens. You have Pat Venditti's numbers up right now? Like, how do they break them down?
Don't have his numbers up yet.
Oh, I thought you did.
I did not.
Okay, well,
Another player.
whenever you do,
I'll let you know.
I just wonder how they break them down. If there's like,
It's funny, I said that in regards to our media notes, but I didn't say that in regards to how our baseball websites are treating us.
just be curious, because, you know, if you float around on Baseball Reference or whatever, you look at guys' splits and it's okay. It's right-handed hitter versus left-handed pitcher, right-handed pitcher versus left, and it's like 63 different ways to look at it. And with the ambidextrous Pat Venditti on the mound, I also have to imagine he hasn't gone righty-righty very often. Or check that, lefty-righty. Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah,
It's never happened. It shouldn't
he's
happen.
confused
Right.
me, which I mean,
I was sitting there listening to you.
to be honest, doesn't
thinking
take
the same
much.
thing. I'm confused. What hand am I?
That's all right. Anyway, I think it's a 1-2-3 inning. Brad Ziegler is in to try to close it out. Brought to you by Southwest Transparency, Low Fares, Nothing to Hide, by Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, in pursuit of your cure, and by your South Florida Honda dealers. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth back with you as the Marlins head to the top of the 9th inning, looking to get back in the win column and continue their winning ways against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Took 2 of 3 against them in LA. Brad Ziegler is on the mound, fresh off career save number 100.
Now 5 for 5 in save opportunities. That's what matters most. Don't need to get caught up with the details. He's been outstanding of late. Aggressive, attacking the strike zone with all 3 pitches. Good late movement.
Miles an hour, a called strike to Yasmani Grandal, who came in to get his first at-bat of the game in the 6th inning. Grandal, Bellinger, Forsythe for the Dodgers.
I remember an early scouting report. This was before, I think, last season. Familiarizing myself with Brad and his arsenal and how he likes to attack hitters. And
center field, Maben takes a second to judge it before putting it away for the first out.
The reason I bring that up is merely that, you know, that scouting report that I remember putting into my notes and watching kind of play out in front of me. And of course, he had some ups and downs last year and to start the season as well. But over the last, I'd say 5 or 6 outings, the scouting report has kind of come back to mind, just how he's sequencing the contact, watching hitters. I think it was 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, before he got to the Marlins. He was the #1 guy in baseball to get hitters to expand the strike zone, guys that would chase. Like 40% of his pitches outside the strike zone. You'd watch hitters like, kind of like you just saw Grandal right there, like, you know, 3-4 inches off the outside corner, but I gotta go get it because it's. And the thing about it is, when you see, because he doesn't have any velocity, guys want to go get it.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to ask. In a day and age where
you're right,
it's like batting practice.
Right.
But then
might
again,
even be
it's
slower than that, honestly. Some of these guys bring it.
But then again, it's not. It's been anything but because he's been so effective. Bellinger out to straightaway center field. Maben looking up, and that one is gone. A home run for Cody Bellinger. And the Dodgers are back to within 2.
Yeah, one thing we know about Bellinger, he loves to get those big arms extended. He just did. Fastball to the outside part of the plate. He could back it up. No doubt about it. Even with a sinker, it certainly get some lift and some drive. He put one in the bushes in center field. Watch the backswing. There you go. Kind of tells you his approach. 77 miles an hour. That's probably the changeup. A little higher in the zone than I think Brad Ziegler wanted it.
So now a ball and no strikes to Logan Forsythe after the 6th home run of the season for Cody Bellinger. Now tied with Yasmani Grandal, the most home runs on this Dodgers team. And if it doesn't seem like a lot, it's because it's not. The 6 home runs by team leaders, the lowest for any National League team. That solo home run doesn't kill the Marlins. They still have a 2-run cushion. This one chopped to Rojas at short. And there are 2 down here in the 9th.
Now that's what you like to see. When you talk Brad Ziegler, you like to see the ball on the ground. It's what he does best. First 2 balls in the air. It's a little bit more Brad Ziegler-esque. Change up. See the grip. See how much depth we come up with. Oh. My apologies, this is the changeup. Didn't have any depth. In fact, as it was making its way into the strike zone, it was kind of sitting up out on a tee.
The Bellinger home run, the Puig home run, the only offense tonight for the Dodgers. Along with that home run, couple of walks for Yasiel, who swings and fouls that one off. It is now 0-2. Dodgers down to their last strike. The 0-2 from Ziegler makes Puig move his feet. The ball and 2 strikes. Swung on and missed, strike 3. The Marlins have now won 3 of 4 against the Dodgers this season. They hand LA its 5th consecutive loss, 8th in 9 games and 15 of the last 20. The Marlins get back in the win column after having lost 3 of 4 to the Atlanta Braves. A win to begin this 3-game series. Don't forget to stay tuned later for our Marlins Live post-game show presented to you by WB Mason. Craig Minervini, Jeff Nelson have you covered. Martin Prado, nice day for him as he made some terrific defensive plays, a multi-hit effort for him. Hear from the skipper, Don Mattingly, as well as Miguel Rojas and the Marlins. After the off day to regroup, lick their wounds a little bit, pick up the win against the reeling Los Angeles Dodgers. Start tonight from Wei-Yin Chen. Again, he wasn't perfect, but it's certainly a step in the right direction for him as he went 4 1/3, gave up 3 hits, walked 3 and struck out 3. And then Nick Whitgren came in, worked an inning in 2/3. Teheran Guerrero gave up the home run to Yasiel Puig. Kyle Bearclaw worked a clean 8th. Ziegler gave up the home run to Cody Bellinger in the 9th inning, but again with the runs late in the ball game for the Marlins, the 2 in the 7th, that was enough to pick up the win. Let's go downstairs. Jessica Blaylock is with Martin Prado.
Thanks so much, Paul. Martin, you guys able to score in the bottom of the 1st, thanks in large part to some great base running by you. It was such a heads-up play. At this point in your career, doing the small things, has that just become instinct for you?
Yeah, you know, like you practice, yeah, you know, you do all your routine during batting practice and everything you prepare for, but by the time you start playing between those 2 lines, everything just comes naturally. That being said, like sometimes you gotta anticipate stuff. You gotta anticipate plays, and you know, with the help like with Freddie, that telling us like always be prepared, always be like anticipating plays, is something that came up today. And
we knew that the monkey was coming out with the pie, but I know one thing that Martin Prado has said. He will always take a pie in the face. He is so thankful to play this game, and he is always happy about a win. I'm going to hand that towel over to you, Martin, so that you can go ahead and get cleaned up. Man, they really got Martin pretty good on that one. We know the monkey loves shenanigans, and we know that every time the monkey gets an opportunity to pie someone, he's going to take advantage of it. Now, Martin, one thing that we saw in the 5th inning was a fantastic defensive play by you. Alex Wood trying to lay down the sac bunt. He ends up popping up, and you catch the ball. I don't know how many feet you had to come up to make that play, but when you're able to come through with a defensive play like that, get that out, how much pride do you take in that?
You know, this is a game where like either you do it like defensively, or if you're not doing it offensively, you got to do something to impact the game. First time, I think I was like, he always bound the ball to the first base side, and I was just trying to be a little more aggressive the second time, and unfortunately for me, he just hit it on the air, so I got time to get there.
For you guys that have come off of the disabled list, Don Mattingly has said those first couple of weeks are almost like spring training. There's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs. For you, what has this process been like of coming back, especially at the plate?
It's been hard, you know, like my teammates, staff, everybody, fans are just being like easy with me, but I know I put a lot of pressure because that's the only way you can just take it to the next level. You know, like I didn't have the spin training where like you got a lot of bats to fail. Unfortunately for me, I'm failing, like my fail is during the season. So I don't use that as an excuse. I'm working really hard to get in the same rhythm and the same timing, and, you know, coming to the field, doing my stuff in the morning and doing the stuff before practice. So I just trying to catch up with all the boys. So they've been great to me, and I feel like home, and I gotta keep working hard.
Appreciate the time, Martin, and congratulations on the win tonight. Guys, back to you.
Jessica, Martine, thanks so much. A nice win for the Marlins as they pick up the 4-2 victory in the opener of this 3-game set against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Step aside for a second. Our Marlins Live postgame show starts after the break.